any form going forward?
I don't know. I'm not a very political person, but I do have beliefs. I have morals, and I'll always stand on those and be true to who I am. And I think people are going to take it how they want to take it, but I've never even really said anything about that. And so when it comes just to protecting young girls in sport and women in sport, I feel very strongly about that. I think that's why you have Title IX. That's why you have some of the greats in women's sports.
The WNBA is in complete turmoil right now. What unfolded between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun was far more than an ordinary basketball game. It turned into a one-sided blowout that delivered one of the most dramatic moments of instant karma the league has ever witnessed. Brittney Griner, who signed a major one-year contract with the Connecticut Sun for the 2026 season, attempted to use her overwhelming size and physicality to intimidate Caitlin Clark on the court. She believed she could throw the young superstar off her game. She thought she could shake the Fever's confidence. But Griner made one huge and costly mistake. She overlooked the Fever's fiercest protector, Sophie Cunningham. The moment Griner went after Clark, Cunningham didn't simply intervene. She completely exploded into action. The result was a stunning locker room confrontation, a ruthless post-game moment caught on camera, and an on-court embarrassment that left the Connecticut Sun completely exposed. If you thought the tension in the WNBA had already reached its peak, you haven't seen anything yet.
From anybody with half a brain cell today. No doubt about it. Now, right here, double technicals for Sanaya Rivers and Caitlin Clark, who exchanged words after a Connecticut foul. That's 7 technicals for Caitlin Clark. One more, and she will be suspended. I hope they rescind this one because I thought it was complete bullshit. You see that score, 123-88. The Indiana Fever set a record for points in the first half of a game with 70 tonight. Wow. Yeah, and Caitlin Clark started this game fast.
Grab a seat, because the old guard just got completely exposed, and Sophie Cunningham showed the entire league why nobody gets away with targeting Caitlin Clark. To understand how this entire situation unfolded, we need to go back to the moment everything reached its breaking point. The Indiana Fever were locked in a heated battle with the Connecticut Sun, while Caitlin Clark was doing what she does best, taking control of the game and knocking down deep three-pointers from well beyond the arc. As the Fever continued to dictate the action, the Sun became increasingly frustrated. That frustration finally reached its limit late in the third quarter when Brittney Griner, wearing her new Connecticut Sun uniform, committed a blatant and overly aggressive offensive foul against Clark.
The Connecticut Sun, 27 points, 11 assists in just 27 minutes. Indiana Fever beat the absolute dog crap, beat the brakes off the Connecticut Sun, 123-88. 70 points in the first half. This is what the Indiana Fever offense looks like when Stephanie White gets the hell out of Caitlin Clark's way. We got to get into it and break this game down. Caitlin Clark breaking records as always. Only the GOAT can do this. Only the GOAT can do this. Take a look at this here, courtesy of ESPN Insights. Another historic night for Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark became the first player in WNBA history to
Griner was furious, and instead of accepting responsibility for the foul, she tried to turn the game into a physical battle. Tempers quickly rose, words were exchanged, and Griner aggressively stepped into Caitlin Clark's space, attempting to use her size to intimidate the young star and throw her off her game. In a highly controversial decision, the referees assessed a double technical foul to Clark, leaving many fans stunned. For a moment, it looked like the momentum had swung in Connecticut's favor. The Suns bench erupted with excitement, convinced they had finally gotten inside Clark's head, while Griner wore a confident smile, believing her old-school intimidation tactics had worked against the league's newest superstar. But everything changed when the Indiana Fever coach made a substitution that completely shifted the game's direction. Sophie Cunningham, who joined the Fever in a trade before the 2025 season and later signed a new contract for the 2026 campaign, stepped onto the floor with a completely different mindset. She wasn't entering the game just to provide solid defense. She was there to make a statement. As soon as play resumed, Cunningham immediately locked eyes with Griner, and from that moment, she looked determined to flip the game in the Fever's favor. The response came almost instantly. Cunningham sprinted down the floor, received a perfectly timed pass from Clark, and calmly buried a deep three-pointer right in Griner's face, sending the crowd into a frenzy. She wasn't finished yet. On the very next possession, Cunningham attacked the basket with confidence, fought through Griner's contact, and finished a difficult layup while drawing the foul to complete a huge three-point play.
Nice little drive. And hits the little floater. That's good stuff. This is my boy Venom. Welcome back, Venom. Venom Reacts. Go subscribe. He's back after his auto accident. And he was away for some days. He is straight up back. And he's going to be calling this on this Ty Harris to CC situation.
Oh my gosh, Caitlin Clark is cooking. Come here, Sanaya. Step back. Oh my gosh.
Is that guy on that?
I don't know the screen. Come here. Curry 3.
Bang. C22. What's up, Venom? Good to see you back, man. No doubt about it. His channel is growing. Talked to Venom tonight before the game. Good stuff. Good stuff. Caitlin in. Way out. Bam. Knocks it down from way outside. Good stuff. Absolutely good stuff. Caitlin Clark, let's see it. This is going to be an and one. She going to drive. Pull up another little floater. And the and one.
That was only the beginning. Cunningham essentially took over the game with a personal scoring run that completely changed the outcome. She looked directly at Griner, pointed toward the Connecticut Sun's bench, and left them completely speechless. The Fever's confidence and energy spread throughout the entire team, while the Sun looked stunned and unable to respond. Indiana cruised to a convincing blowout victory, leaving Brittney Griner staring at the scoreboard in complete disbelief. But the biggest drama, the real chaos, didn't begin until after the final buzzer. As impressive as the on-court domination was, what Cunningham reportedly did afterward is what truly sent shockwaves across the WNBA. She didn't quietly head back to the locker room or avoid the spotlight. According to widely shared reports and viral videos, Cunningham stood in front of the media cameras and unleashed a fiery response aimed at the Veteran Center. Instead of delivering the usual polished public relations answers, she made it clear how important she believed it was to protect her teammates.
Important to protect.
Do you think, I guess, on one line like that, it goes against perhaps, some people might say, hey, for the trans community, this could be something that could come back on us or be targeted against us. Like, how do you, I guess, view that sort of critique?
Like I said, I extend love, and I don't dislike anyone. Like, I think there is room for absolutely everyone here, and I think there's room to love everyone. And I truly think when you get people in the same room and you have conversations, you actually have a lot in common with a lot of people. And so I'm there to love, but I'm also there to love biological women, and I think that there are rights that need to be protected. And like I said, I'm going to stand true to that. I'll never falter in my beliefs in that, but I have never once said I hated the trans community. Like I said, I think there's space for everyone.
Sophie, what about Connecticut today? Tell us a little bit about the game. What are you thinking about Keys or guarding Brittney? You know her so well.
Yeah, I think it has been so fun. I played with BG for 6 years, and so I know her like the back of my hand. And as of late, she's been playing really good. She's been playing like OG Brittney, and so we have our hands full down in the paint. I really think actually Connecticut is playing really good as a whole. I think everyone's playing their role really well from top to bottom. They don't go out there and do anything outside of what they do, and that makes it difficult. And so, yeah, you could look at standings and where they're at in the league, but when you do that in this league, you're going to get beat by 50. And so we have one more game before break, and we cannot take this game lightly at all. And so we have to come out with following our.
She openly criticized the physical play, making it clear that any attempt to target Caitlin Clark would be met with a strong response. Her message to the rest of the league was unmistakable. If opponents tried to go after the Fever's point guard, they should expect the entire team to stand up for her. Fans have been buzzing ever since, praising the Fever for showing they won't be intimidated. The team has built a reputation for sticking together, while veteran players who depend on physical intimidation are beginning to realize those tactics no longer have the same impact in today's WNBA. The Connecticut Sun attempted to turn the game into a physical battle, but instead found themselves on the losing end of a crushing response. Brittney Griner tried to challenge the Fever, and Sophie Cunningham further strengthened her reputation as one of the team's toughest and most fearless defenders.
That some would deem controversial. She's a teammate of Caitlin Clark. She plays on the Indiana Fever. She was the one that got into it with a player a few weeks ago where she just pointed in her direction and kept pointing in her direction. That's Sophie Cunningham. Well, anyway, she made some comments that were deemed relatively controversial about a week or so ago. I don't know when it was. And she said she wasn't backing down from her comments. And it was regarding trans athletes in women's sports. Matter of fact, she went so far as to say she doesn't think her comments were controversial at all. She shared her opinion on a polarizing topic in an interview with ESPN this week, where she claimed she felt a duty to, quote, protect young girls in a locker room, or young girls in sport who shouldn't have to go against biological men. That's what she talked about. She was asked to expand on the quote when meeting with the media on Wednesday, and she made it clear that's how she feels. Quote, I said what I said, Cunningham told reporters. But rather than me just saying that, let's hear from Sophie Cunningham herself. Listen to what she had to say.
Talked about wanting to protect young girls who shouldn't have to go against biological men. Just can you expand your viewpoint on that?
I mean, I think I said what I said. I think it's kind of common sense. And I think I'll always believe in that. I think it's really important to protect children, and that's little girls who are also involved in that category. And so I stand on what I said, and I always believe that.
I stand with Sophie Cunningham. Stand with Riley Gaines. I stand with them both. I have 2 daughters. They don't participate in sports, but if they did, that would be my position. And I think it's important to emphasize what Sophie Cunningham said a bit further. She said, I think I'll always believe that. I think it's really important to protect children and that little girls who are also involved in that category. So I stand on what I said, and I will always believe that. She claims she's not a political person, but she does have morals and beliefs, and she will always stay true to them. When asked if her stance could negatively impact the trans community, Cunningham said she's not speaking out of hate. She doesn't dislike anyone. She says, quote, I think there is room for absolutely everyone here, and I think there's room to love everyone. I truly think when you get people in the same room and you have conversations, you actually have a lot in common with a lot of people. I'm there to love, but I'm also there to love biological women, and I think that there are rights that need to be protected. And like I said, I'm going to stand true to that. I'll never falter in my beliefs in that, but I have never once said I hated the trans community. Like I said, I think there's space for everyone. I can't applaud her enough. This notion that you're hating on the trans community because you are not a proponent of them participating in female sports is utterly ridiculous. Sophie Cunningham said every word right on the money. There's no hate involved. There's only love we're talking about. But what happened to loving girls who are born biologically as girls? What about their rights? What about fairness associated?
Now it's your turn to weigh in on all of this incredible drama. Do you think Sophie Cunningham sent a message that the rest of the WNBA won't forget, or was the reaction blown completely out of proportion? Share your honest thoughts and predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another action-packed WNBA story. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.